Oh, um, good evening. Well, good evening, morning, afternoon. Um, tonight's new serum scene, um, just before the scene actually takes place, I am going to make a couple rolls part of Stefan's extended craft roll for the prosthetic arm he's making for Damian Black. Um, it's a difficulty 8 roll because he's working on mechanics. Ew. So first one's not too good. And so, okay, basically, he has not been able to make any definitive progress. Something about the about the control wires is just not. It's not cooperating. But Stefan's more or less had a rather normal, actually rather enjoyable Friday night shift at the Last Resort. Was actually quite busy tonight. And tips were actually quite good. Tips were magnificently good. And he, as he, is walking away from work, he starts heading toward the 4-lane theater in a way so that he's not walking directly past the homeless shelter across the street, just to avoid some people anyway. But he just can't get over the feeling that he's overlooked. He's constantly overlooking something important. He doesn't quite understand how in the hell to turn around any semblance of a reputation amongst the other kindred in the city, most of them anyway. And he, about a city block away from the theater, kind of stops, pulls his phone out of a breast pocket, and flips it open. Quickly, out of practice, finds Axel's number and dials. Just lets it ring.
Axel has been thinking about the favors he's been working on lately, particularly the most recent one where he did a personal aid to Mutt. A long talk with Damian Black. All was supposed to be a two-way conversation, quickly turned into Axel preaching again. Sometimes things just go south. At this point, he's actually walking near the downtown area, mostly just scouting for a meal. A few things on his mind. And it feels that buzzing at his hip. Stefan. Hasn't heard from him in a little while. Hello?
Axel. And
yeah.
Stefan begins continuing his walk. Well, good 3 days of clearing my head has done me quite a lot of good.
Glad that makes one of us.
I would you be up for a no pressure conversation?
I can try and keep it as no pressure as
Good.
possible.
No expectations. No hardline kindred business, or no hardline business, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to end up making my way. Maybe this is a bad night for trying this. I figured I'd try and pick up a date if you catch my drift.
I believe, yeah, I can help you with this later on tonight.
Maybe sounds good. Sounds good. No, I'll get to it. I'm just feeling a little on tilt right now. Some things I'm unloading.
Stefan is going to listen carefully to voices, even if it happens, any odd breathing in his wit's perception, or I'm sorry, wit's empathy, because he's trying to piece things together without actually being able to perceive fully. High diff, so 267.
Well, Axel's thoughts seem a little scattered, maybe. Probably the more telling sign is his reaction to talking to someone, but you don't hear any other footsteps or any other people talking. In fact, wherever he is seems to be pretty quiet, save for the occasional car driving by.
I cannot remember. Have you visited the four-lane theater? Northern Edge downtown, across the street from Welcoming Arms shelter.
Yeah, I ended up checking the place out actually with Mutt and Scout.
Good. Then you know about the side exit. If you look at it from the front, it is on the left. If you come at it from the back, it is on your right. The door will be open. When you arrive, come on in, and you'll head down a set of stairs after going to the door. You will, after going down the stairs, see an old concession booth, and the double doors to the right lead into the theater area.
Stairs, concessions, theater, right. Okay, I got it. I got it, Stefan. I'll see you soon.
I will be waiting. And the phone hangs up.
Axel rubs his cheek after pulling the phone away, and he looks down. He's slowly looking through his contacts, recent calls received. He sees Stefan at the top of the list. Just call answered not more than a minute ago. He seems to relax a bit. Okay. He tries to end up making it through without minimal of fuss. Not to engage anyone, just make it there safely. Be alright. He finally does actually, after several minutes, end up
when
at a. Go ahead.
when you arrive, the the door appears to be like completely closed. It's not cracked open at all. You can kind of see. Obviously, this door may have been forced at some point because it's a heavy, like it's one of those heavy like exit doors, right? So it's got the reinforced area around the lock to try to prevent people from getting crowbars or you know easy jimmying a door open.
Axel at this point just tries to reach for the handle, and he turns it and tries to pull on to see if it opens.
Door opens actually with no resistance. Apparently, the spring is busted.
Oh boy. He steps inside, closes, takes a look around. Not sure what he's looking for when he starts stepping down the stairs, following Stefan's directions.
As you pass or as you head down the stairs, you see to your right there's an upper walkway, and there's two sets. Well, you can. Well, you can't really make out the other set, but you would assume that with the spacing from the right wall, there's probably two sets of double doors that lead into a balcony.
Yeah, that's where it is. That's where it is. He starts stepping forward, approaching the doors. He wishes he had the time, focus to look at those doors with a bit more detail. So much old work went into this building. Old work. Work. I won't work. No. Stay focused, Axel.
When you open the double doors to the downstairs main theater, or to the downstairs area of the main theater, off in the distance, sitting on the edge of the stage, lighting the front row area, mainly on the right, there appears to be about six candles. About used to be this high, now they're about this high, and they just sit firmly because they're about that big around.
Okay.
Illuminating the area off in the distance. And there's a familiar figure sitting in the front row.
And to be correct, Axel is currently overviewing this from a higher up balcony.
No. You just, as you were heading down the stairs, that's what you saw to your right. The upper walkway leading to the balcony.
And Axel makes his way, trying to get towards familiar face. Hopefully Stefan. Is it Stefan? Yeah. He called. We checked the number. He called, checked the number, walked here, went through the door. Okay. Yeah. Okay. No pressure. No pressure. When he steps in, he's not trying to mask his presence. He just seems to, for as good as his condition allows, to somewhat casually walk forward. And he just sits in the front row, not too far away from Stefan.
What a hell of a night Sunday was.
Yeah, it was. He's not actually looking at you when he's talking. His eyes seem to be darting into other places.
Any developments in the wake of that bit of business?
Well, I can. Yeah, few things. Um, he pulls out an envelope, and it's wax sealed, and extends it over the few seats that are between you and him. Again, he's not looking at you. He's just kind of holding it over.
Huh. He takes a moment to look at the paper, look at the seal in the light, and reaching into a pocket, the right pocket that you know he, or what? No, I'm sorry, a back pocket that you know he usually keeps a multi tool in, and flicks the blade open.
Axel seems to get a little nervous when you pop open a blade in front of him.
Open the envelope, and then taking the back of the blade, closing it against his leg, placing it back into the back pocket. Is there a what names are on the outside of the envelope, if any?
There's no names on the outside. In fact, the identifying features are kept to a very minimal. What you do end up having is that this is a letter from Sophia de Soleil. I'm trying to remember the pronunciation of the last name, but Sophia, Clan Tremere.
Huh.
It details that a certain requisition that you have been seeking out has now been found, and she doesn't have access to it.
Son of a bitch.
There's Mr. Silver Hammer. No. Mr. Smith, Silversmith. He was looking for you in the church, and yeah, he said to give you that. Thought you didn't open it. Told him I could find you and give it to you.
Describe him as best you can. As he folds the letter back up, places it into the envelope, and then puts it into the right breast pocket.
Proper man. Tail's fuzzy. I'm sorry. Memory hasn't been too good right now. I had other things on the mind. No excuse, but he proper, well-dressed man. Good handshake. He approached the father, and a little shorter than I am. Didn't look like he was all that big of a guy. In fact, actually, somewhat, I'm not gonna lie, limp-wristed, but yeah, he.
Oh, Sophia.
What?
Curious.
Back up. What did you say about Sophia?
If he knows Sophia, then undoubtedly, given the nature of this, I was really hoping to make it hands-on, to actually be there when it is found. I wonder how long it took them to track it to the library on the NYU University campus.
What are you talking about, Steph?
A book.
Not making any sense.
A very important book.
Okay.
It was a point of Stefan's eyes seem to have a gleam, but everything below the nose is deadpan and emotionless, and his voice is hollow. They have done what I feared they would do. They cut me out of actually doing the work. Plus, I was planning to maybe see about checking in on my sire back in New York. Briefly. I have found it. Well, that is fine, this is fine. Sophia assured me on her word that the original would not be held from me. I trust her in that.
Okay. But if that's the case, then doesn't that imply that? No, that's jumping to conclusions. Um, you think that Mr. Silversmith is?
I don't doubt it.
What the hell did? Oh no, that's not what he said. He said he understands. Okay. Stress free. Right. So I'm just going to dump the stressful parts on you first, and this way we can just relax for the rest. Mr. Damian Black will be approaching you in the next few nights
Oh, Christ.
to apologize for his actions. Offer you aid in explaining whatever details that you actually want to know about the incident. And
I trust the payment is not going to be too heavy.
it's something I've worked out with Mike. It's trying to make him just a little bit more useful, or at the very least show a certain degree of respect. And respect is earned. He needs to learn to earn, learn to earn, learn to earn. So he's going to come to you to ask for a small boon, trivial, in exchange for the information. And I told him that boon will then immediately be given to the whip of Bruhal whip.
Has the video actually come to light, the one that he mentioned doing something he was technically not supposed to be doing?
Not yet. Not yet.
Good. Good. Stefan's face changes. There's now a smile on his face, but everything from the nose up is deadpan and emotionless. And his posture is... half his posture is relaxed, and half his posture is like a statue. And rigid.
You might want to know it's coming down the pipe before you suddenly end up getting some weird phone calls. I had to send him straight. And I'm thankful I didn't have to break both of his legs to do it.
Well, thinking about how my words were regarded from Sunday during the events of Sunday, I can't help but wonder. It's like I'm missing something. It's like something. I don't feel complete. I was trying to. Well, I can't. I would be lying if I said I was doing what I was doing to, not to earn some respect. But I just don't get it. I don't understand how to deal with these loose cannons. Zachary Voltaire is the biggest one.
How do I deal with it? That's what you're asking me, Stefan. How do you engage them? And you notice that his fists are actually gripping the armchair, the seat, like he wants to just bend them back with nothing but his wrists.
He is not here, Axel. And that chair is not going to harm you. Tap it. It is solid.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right, Stefan. He leans forward in the chair. You are asking what? When it comes right down to it, what are you asking, Stefan?
Well, I would like, whenever I speak and make a point, to have people at least consider my words and not immediately disregard them. To not be regarded as somebody who is nothing more than a schemer. And to have some consideration higher than the ill consideration, mainly from Zachary. How is it that you speak and everyone fucking listens and I speak and they automatically suspect that I am up to no good? Stefan's head just fucking lowers to the ground, just staring at the corner between the bottom of the stage and the floor.
You're not going to like the answers. You're not going to like it one bit. I don't like that. I don't like that you're not going to like it. But I'm not doing you any favors by lying. He's looking at the ground like something's. Ugh. Partially disgusted. Just kind of leans back away from it for a second. You're not asking the right question. Why should they respect you? Why does your opinion matter?
Because the point that I was trying to make is that, yes, they are predators. And in order to get through this existence, everyone should understand that nothing is gained by having one predator prey on another. That is why I brought up that example. What if it was not Mortimer? What if it was somebody else later on down the line that he does the same thing to?
Mine. When it comes down to it, who is Stefan Braunfiedler? Who is there speaking? Why are the gums flapping, and why should I be listening? Because you may have a point, that doesn't mean that you've earned respect. It means that you have a point, a sharp point. and you're thinking about putting it in someone. And if I know that, well, why should I trust you? Why should I respect you?
There's actually a part of me that wishes that instead of my mother, it was me that was killed on those streets, walking home. Then maybe I wouldn't be in this position.
Cliches, temporary problem, permanent solution. You
I have tried to deal with them. I have tried to I personally risk as a nobody whatever pride and reputation, whatever semblance of confidence at risk every single time I try to deal with anyone, and every single time I try to help someone out, I always get shit on.
he kind of looks to you, and it's a smile, but it's not genuine happiness. It's not forced either. It just seems to be almost muscle reflex. And when he looks at you, he says in a tone that you're probably all too familiar with. The only thing that's changed is the words. Mr. Stefan Braunfiedler of Clan Malkavian.
No, I am not that pathetic.
How?
For one, I am still whole. But his eyes are morose. His eyes are
No.
morose and he chuckles.
You're not whole, Stefan. You lost a part of yourself a long, long time ago. You're not whole. You're not more whole than any of us. You're doing the same thing. You're just a little better at it. Little, tiny, but that's
10 years of trying to learn deception, trying to keep to the shadows, trying to keep quiet. I never would have done that when I was alive.
no. So you asked, why is it when I talk, they listen? Why do you think, Stefan? Why is it when my teeth are moving and gnashing, people listen?
I honestly don't know. I really don't.
Did I come to the beach with you and Lacey? Oh, Lacey. And have any more than you did?
What are you suggesting? I'm supposed to give up everything to all of these other beasts that walk in skin of men. I am supposed to just give in to their greedy and petty wants.
They want something. That's what it is. I help. I say something happens and it happens. And I make sure it's done as best as can be expected. Maybe better, maybe worse. But I get things done.
And I do not.
Do you think I like Voltaire any more than you do? Do you think that I don't see him and try not to do something horrible?
Well, I don't hate him. But at least now I know that he has absolutely no emotion in him. Obviously, whatever beast crawls in his head killed that semblance of empathy and emotion a long time ago. If it does not have dollar signs and currency symbols and expectations of the next day's stock turnouts, he does not give a shit.
Why does it matter what he thinks?
At this point, I don't think it does. If it did not matter, if it did not matter Sunday and that fuss, then it should have. Then it does not matter at all. And if I am picking up on what I think I am picking up correctly, dealing with Smoth-Kindred involves compromise.
Mm. It's like trying to hold water in your hands, Stefan. Just gets everywhere. Maybe that doesn't get all the blood out, but when I am speaking, they don't see me like you do. They look and see something strong and that works and it's helpful. When you look at me, I see disdain. When you look at me, you make it a point to remind me how small and little I know. That's fine. That's good.
No, the shoe is only underfoot. Now I finally realize just how much of a nobody I am. I am sure that even though I have no intention of doing so, if I were to greet the sun one morning, I don't believe anybody would miss me. It would be one less schemer, one less predator consuming resources.
You don't understand, Stefan. I don't think you ever understood. And his voice seems to go from this almost jittering and all over the place, and he just kind of walks by with you in complete steady at this point. You're not watching and listening. You're more concerned about a show of respect. But I don't think you would know what to do with respect even if it was given to you. Why is it so important to you?
Appreciation. Obviously, that's too much to ask.
Yes, because I received such a basket of thank yous from Goodchild when we did that little favor. Oh, yes, I just remember being bombasted with it. She couldn't shut up about me and how much she was so grateful.
I don't expect a recognition from a harpy. I know better than that.
Why?
You don't get any kind of recognition or well, due attention from people of status until you earn it. I just wish I knew how to go about that amongst other neonates.
You listen. Stop being the teacher, start being the student.
Stefan just kind of turns his head and looks at you, and his expression just turns like he realizes something. The beach comes to haunt me again, I guess. Oh,
You're never too old to stop learning. Or is that the start? No,
yeah.
doesn't matter.
No, that is about one of the few things that actually does at this point. I have forgotten to continue learning. And that, I guess in a way I have to admit, brings me down to the same level as Damian, just without some mistakes.
Another cliche. Fall. A smart man learns from his mistakes, a wise man learns from others.
Then why hasn't Damian learned from his?
Because he's not smart or wise. But which are you? Are you either? Are you both? Maybe.
Well,
Maybe.
I know at this point, actions like the one that I arranged at the opera house are not quite the niche.
Not yet.
And
Not
I
yet.
need to come up with something of value. I was thinking. Maybe it's time I actually learned how to handle a vehicle. Maybe switch professions a little bit. Provide good, safe, and secure method of transport for kindred.
Axel kind of thinks about it for a second. And he nods like he thinks he understands. Stefan, I have to ask, did the meeting seem distasteful to you? Was it so distasteful to have everyone who needed to be there come at your beck and call? That Zachary came, that a whip came on behalf of this clan, that you had Mr. Voltaire in a position where we could have staked him, dragged him down to the cellar, offered him to the brew hall, kept Natalie shut. Oh God, when did I do that? No, oh no. You didn't. You made it amends. You could have, and the brew hall would have taken all the blame.
No, I don't find that distasteful. I just I just think maybe until I well, now I am more or less learning some of the finer details. But would it hurt to offer a tiny service?
Idea that may be useful to you. You are going to aid Damian. He is coming to you to seek forgiveness. Use that to get what you know and ask the questions that might be poignant. Don't be aggressive, be understanding. He's in an embarrassing situation. And with that understanding, let him come to you with the details. And then think about those details. Because I know more than a few people would like to see that little bit of video go away. Or, this would make me angry, but you could just as easily look into if that video is going to help someone else out. See where the paper trail goes. Either way, if you're going to be the schemer, be it. Don't feel bad if you fail. Be a student.
Well, in any event, it would take me a while to try to find a driving school that operates at night. A lot more saving getting the resources for an actual vehicle. All worthwhile though.
Wow.
All done in the long term. But
Axel kind of looks back up at the ceiling. Not everything that drives has wheels.
yes, but it could be. It could. It could solve issues if, well, make things much easier if either Teresa or anyone else ever asks us to get rid of incriminating evidence again.
Could. Could. It really could.
I figure in the event between attempting to work with Damian again, Stefan just kind of leans back, looks up, and maybe trying to do something that's maybe it's a bit more useful. Not because I want to scheme, well, not knowingly, but something to allow me to listen more. After all, how often is it that people forget that the person that drives them from point A to point B always has their ears open even though they seem not to pay attention?
Pay attention to the road. He kind of gets up and he kind of looks at the candle for a second, pulls out a pack of smokes, pulls one out, leans in, lighting it. Has it ever occurred to you that Damian drives?
Let's just take that one step at a time. I will meet with him when he comes. I will deal with him. I will ask those poignant questions, but I'm going to give the brouhaha space at this point.
We'll talk when my head's a little clearer. But until then, Stefan, please stop disregarding me like I'm nobody.
At this point, Axel, I have more regard for you than I ever have. And with what you did in the opera house, I'm grateful. Absolutely grateful.
And with that, Axel just leaves out the back door. A small trail of cigarette smoke, a calming mist. He's off on his own road. Maybe Stefan will take the time to learn from his own misgivings, his own mistakes.
Stefan sits back in the seat that he's occupied now for a bit. And without making a complete mess, just breaks without an actual tear shed. But inside, he feels more broken than he ever has.